What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got kind of a history video for you guys. All right, so I want to talk a bit about the past of Call of Duty and kind of like what Modern Warfare 3 needs to emulate to be successful. So, you know, not a whole lot of like brand new information coming out these days. So, you know, I kind of had to be a little creative. I actually sat here for the past like 15 minutes trying to like look up a topic, trying to look up something like interesting to share and talk about. This is the best I could do. So unfortunately, if it's not for you, I'm sorry. You know, I'm really out here struggling, doing my best, as most of the content creators that you watch are most likely doing as well. But I wanted to cover this. I wanted to just kind of, you know, dig a little deeper than, you know, just reading a tweet or something like that. Just dig a little deeper, get some information out there, and, you know, obviously my thoughts. So if you're into it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Channel's been doing really good recently, so I, you know, can't say anything, but thank you for that. All right, so the gameplay you're watching, by the way, the gameplay yesterday, I think it was yesterday, yeah. People were all about the Rebirth Island. You know, a lot of people were like, oh, it's Rebirth back, I want to play Rebirth. Guys, I'm sorry, it's not back. If Activision had, you know, any kind of common sense, any amount of IQ, you know, above like room temperature, you know, maybe they'd bring Rebirth Island back. Maybe they'd realize that, you know, the game is kind of boring without it. And so, you know, a lot of people actually interesting. They liked it, you know, so maybe, I don't know, don't take away things that everyone liked. I don't know, up to you. But as it turns out, no, unfortunately, Rebirth is not there. This is some fresh gameplay. For those of you who watched yesterday's video, gameplay was a little scarce on my channel. I actually did hop on. I played the game, got some ranked play gameplay as well coming up for you. Not today, but at some point. So hopefully you do enjoy it. But anyway, I want to throw you some dates. All right, so the reason why I kind of thought about this video is because we are now in early to mid-ish June of 2023, and we have heard nothing official about the next Call of Duty game. Now, apparently it's being called Modern Warfare 3. I don't know if this was leaked by Activision or whatnot, but I don't think it was like fully announced or anything like that. And we obviously don't have any trailers or any information. I think it's kind of weird that we don't, because this game is supposedly coming out at the end of the year, and, you know, we're already midway through the year, so, you know, any day now. But I want to throw you some dates. All right, so Modern Warfare 2019 was announced May 30th, 2019. Cold War was, interestingly enough, announced in late August. I think it was August 25th or 6th of 2020, and Vanguard in April 21st. So very wide discrepancy. And unfortunately, I couldn't find when Modern Warfare 2 was officially announced. I looked on Twitter, I looked on websites, but I couldn't really find it. I didn't feel like continuously digging for more and more. So you're gonna have to take my word for it. I don't know when Modern Warfare 2, this game, was announced, but I think overall the pattern is kind of like early summer-ish. Aside from Cold War, I mean, we all know what kind of train wreck Cold War turned out to be because they had no time, but yeah, that was announced like in a Warzone event or something like that. Very odd. I think this game, Modern Warfare 3, is going to be kind of the same. I believe Vanguard was, and I'm not sure if Modern Warfare 2 was, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Early summer, you know, late May, late April, that's kind of like the trend aside from Cold War. I'm assuming Modern Warfare 2 was announced by the end of June. If I'm wrong, you know, you can quote me, don't quote me on that, but, you know, if I'm wrong, you can fact check me in the comments or something. I won't be offended. You know, if you're doing more work than me on my YouTube videos, I can't say anything about that. So appreciate that if you want to look into it. But I just think it's odd that we're now, you know, into June, not April. We're now into June with no official, like, concrete information. What do I want? I mean, like, a multiplayer trailer would be nice, obviously. I think we're going to get a campaign trailer first. My huge speculation right now is that they're not done. They are still working on the campaign. They are still finishing the multiplayer map. They are still figuring out which guns to recycle, which perks to recycle. Because let's face it, okay? I mean, Sledgehammer had, like, as much as you may not like them, they are rushed as hell to finish this game. Okay, like, they're not even close. They probably were just about to finish Vanguard, finished it. Obviously, they did some stuff with the season updates, not a whole lot. More than Modern Warfare 2, but not a whole lot. And now they're all of a sudden having to just jump on board to another game, being Modern Warfare 3. So, yeah, man, that's where we're at. It's very discouraging. I'm hoping to hear stuff by the end of June. You know, July's already getting kind of late. I'm assuming there's going to be an alpha and a beta. Again, I've heard nothing about these. So that's kind of where we're at. That's the first half of this video. I want to transition to the next half. I was going to do like a kind of a what do you call it? Like a comparison video from the past Call of Duties to the present Call of Duties and just kind of like compare sales. However, I noticed that many sales numbers are hidden. You know, there's some websites out there saying that Cold War sold 30 million copies. There's some websites out there that said it sold 5.7. So I don't want to like give you guys bad information, so I'm not going to cover that. Instead, I'm going to be covering the top 3 Call of Duty games that were like based on sales. And this is backed by multiple sources, but the source I'm using is Game Rant. I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description down below if you want to see the full list. Again, I don't know, they've got random numbers for some of them. Some of them have been backed by like other sources, but some of them are just, I've never seen that number before in my life. So I want to start us off here at the number 3 spot. Surprisingly enough, it is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 coming in at 29.59. Obviously, this game came out in 2012, and yeah, this was one of the peaks of Call of Duty. I think this 3-year period, you know, plot twist, surprise, surprise, these 3 games are back to back in some form of order. But yeah, Black Ops 2, 29.59 million copies sold. It's no surprise. Everybody enjoyed this game. Whether you are casual, whether you are sweat, whether you played 1 hour a week, whether you played 8 hours a day, you played this game. You like enjoyed this game. Your friends were playing this game. Most of your Xbox Live or PlayStation Network friends were most likely on this game or GTA 5, right? Or did GTA 5 come out yet? I don't know. But you were most likely on this game because your friends were. Search and Destroy, League Play, Hardpoint was introduced in this game. So many, like the first DLC weapon, the Peacekeeper, like DLC content was actually worth buying back in the day. Like this game just had so much potential. It obviously lived up to it. And Treyarch knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? Like they knew what they were doing with this game. They knew that people were going to enjoy it. The developers had the fans' interest in mind. You know, they didn't just turn a blind eye. They didn't just plug their ears with their fingers and sing la la la. They actually, I don't know, changed things. Like remember the whole the DSR and the ballista sniping nerf? I know Thunder remembers that, but I remember Vonderhaar getting death threats for that. You know, like they cared. You know, like they didn't care enough to like revert that, obviously, but they cared to change the game. They cared to update the game. They communicated from what I remember. And honestly, even if they didn't, I feel like the communication was good enough to the point where like you didn't feel like you needed to communicate. You feel like there was not many issues. Like how many times are you going to tweet them about things that are like quote unquote non-issues? So anyway, that's number 3. That's Black Ops 2. Again, coming in at 29.59 million copies. I feel like today's Call of Duty games, obviously, we don't have the numbers, but like if Steam is at like 60K, that's not even a good comparison because you don't know how much people bought it. I guess it started off at like 500,000 people on Steam, something like that. So if you multiply that by like what, 60, 70 bucks, I don't know, you get an initial base value there. What is that? I can't do math. Is that 3.5 million or is that less? I don't know. Something like that. Do the math in the comments from you guys. Coming in at number 2 is Modern Warfare 3. Yes, the original one. This game sold 30.71 million copies as of 2020, and it sold 6.5 million in the first 24 hours. That is actually insanity. This game is, unfortunately, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but probably my favorite Call of Duty game. And so that's why, me personally, I'm not like super like down on the next game coming out from Modern Warfare 3. I feel like there's got to be some remastered, right, for the maps. Maybe they'll bring specialists back. Like, there's got to be something new to the game, right? Like, I can't believe that they'll literally make Modern Warfare 2 again with like red dots and dead silence. Like, if that's all we're getting, I don't know, man. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic for this title. Okay, I think the first Modern Warfare 3 was really, really fun. It wasn't the most balanced game or anything like that, but it doesn't need to be. You know what I mean? Like fun games don't need to be all like uber balanced, super balanced all the time. I think the campaign was great. Specialist was great. The Moab, Infected came through this. Kill Confirmed came through this. Like a lot of fun modes. It was just really fun. It was a lot of fun. Your friends were playing this game. Search and Destroy was fun. I liked most of the maps. Yeah, no complaints there. And lastly, coming in at the number 1 spot is Call of Duty Black Ops 1. You knew it. You knew it was coming. 30.72 million copies as of 2020. This is the sequel to World at War, and obviously people love the hell out of World at War, and people, no exception, loved Black Ops 1. Okay, this game was fair. This game was balanced. This game encouraged movement. This game catered to a lot of play styles, I guess, except for sniping. All the maps pretty much iconic, like pretty much no bad maps in this game. DLC was all right as well. Weapon balance was pretty amazing. It was very, very good Call of Duty game. And again, 30.72 million copies. Call of Duty nowadays can only dream, you know? But honestly, the point of this is just to like, I don't know, if you're Call of Duty, take a look at these 3 titles and be like, what made these 3 games so iconic? Like maybe it was partially the time period and whatnot, but I mean, maybe it was the fact that these games are fun. I don't know. You let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I've run out of time. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and peace out.